So states are furious, governors are highly concerned, and mayors are wondering what is going to happen next, because now their citizens, their residents, the people living in their states, in their cities, in their counties, are highly concerned because Trump won. Now, I'm going to break down what's going on as we speak, what the American people are concerned with, and what officials are telling us all around the world. So I'm going to break all this down in just a moment, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So something very concerning is happening right now, and that is that our president-elect, Donald Trump, has a lot of threats against his life. Look at this right here. This says, FBI thwarts Iranian murder-for-hire plan targeting Donald Trump. Now, this was something that they prevented. The FBI prevented this weeks before the election. The concern now, not just from the FBI, but from world leaders, is that Donald Trump is going to be a target everywhere he goes for the next 4 years. Now, why is this turning into a problem? Number one, if you are if you are a potential threat, okay, or there's a risk against your life, then you're going to be concerned no matter where you go. The problem now is it doesn't matter if he's here in the United States, because we've already seen threats against his life here just leading up to the election. But many officials are worried that these threats are only going to continue and escalate as we get closer to Inauguration Day. Well, this is where states and cities are stepping in. Look at this right here. It says, California governor calls special session to protect liberal policies from Trump presidency. Now, we're going to get to that in just a moment, but I want to show you some other reports. Look at this. It says thousands expected for a People's March on Washington ahead of Trump's inauguration. Organizers estimate 50,000 people will attend as part of an expected surge of protests and celebrations from across the political spectrum as the nation's seat of power transitions to Trump. Yeah. Now, there's going to be multiple protests, many marches, some celebrations. Again, there's going to be some issues here. Look at this one. It says protesters gather outside Chicago's Trump Tower after election landslide. Now, it doesn't stop there. That was in Chicago. Even in New York, there were protests. In Seattle, Washington, there were protests. Look at this. This is in Denver. It says, we're on our own. Denver's first little protest of the second Trump era. It says snow kept it small, but people angry about the election expect their movement to grow. Now, many people are not happy that President-elect Donald Trump has been selected as the next president of the United States. And as a result, they are going to show their displeasure. Now, this is where it's taking a turn. What former President Donald Trump or current President-elect Donald Trump has said in the past is that we're spending too much money on illegal immigrants coming into the United States. We are flying them in. We're busing them from the border up to New York, up to Chicago, and to Denver, right? A lot of issues here. But he's saying we need to cut back. We need to deport. Thousands and thousands of people, potentially more than 1 million people, should be deported. Well, even a former Obama official, said that yes, they believe there's too many illegal immigrants here in the United States, and in order to provide for the citizens, many people have to go back. Well, look at this. I talked about this morning, but it says New York City ending voucher program that allowed migrant families to buy their own food. Now, the reason why this is concerning is because these families are now going to be on their own. They have to buy their own food, find their own shelter. Okay? They have to pretty much provide for their family or for themselves by themselves. No help. Well, look at this. I want to show you this. It says Trump says there's no price tag for his mass deportation plan. It says in an exclusive interview with NBC News, Trump talked about his campaign promise to carry out the largest deportation of immigrants in U.S. history. regardless of the cost. Now, this is why many states and cities are furious. Because regardless of the cost, the Trump administration wants to send back, hundreds of thousands of people, potentially more than 1 million people, send them back to Mexico and China and to Guatemala. Okay, send them back to whatever country they came from if they are not here legally and do not have any paperwork showing that they're trying to go through the process. Well, here's the issue. How are they going to fund that? How are they going to fund back a mass deportation event? Well, the only way to fund it is to take the money from the states, from the cities, from all these different programs that have been funding shelter for migrants, food for migrants, cell phones for migrants, okay? Transportation for migrants. Some of these additional universal basic income programs, some of which are for, again, migrants. Now, I'm not here to tell you that this is going to happen for sure or it's just a matter of time, but the expectation is that Trump is going to do whatever he can to send back hundreds of thousands of people. It's going to cost money. So initially, these programs that were set up under the Biden administration for immigrants, well, these programs are going to be shut down. I talked about earlier today. These programs will be shut down. This is why states are furious. This is why many officials believe that there will be additional attacks on Trump's life. There will be an assassination attempt again. We don't know when, but there will be something. So if you see Trump out in doing a speech, chances are he's going to be behind bulletproof glass. Okay, that's the only way he's going to be able to deliver a speech, is behind bulletproof glass, because officials are concerned for his life. Not just because of what is going on here in the United States, because of a potential mass deportation event, but because Iran wants him dead as well. Okay? Again, this right here, these stories, these are just beginning. We know there's been attempts. We know there's been plans. But unfortunately, there's been nothing that has been carried out, okay, successfully. So that's the one thing I can tell you right now, is where we go moving forward is going to be interesting. We're going to see a lot of people are going to be upset about what plans Trump has, what he wants to put in place, what Republicans are thinking about doing in the Senate and the House. Keep in mind, the Republican Party is likely to control the presidency, the Senate, and the House. They'll have full control, which means if they want to, they can pretty much pass any bill. Any bill. That is going to be troubling for Democrats, but it's also going to cause the American people that do not side with Trump to protest and be up in arms about what his plans are. So we'll see what happens moving forward, but that is what we know as of today. So again, as soon as we get more information on this as to what is going on, what the American people should expect, well, I will bring you those updates as soon as we get them. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.